years old and I'm homeschooled. I attend Mount Vernon SDA Church. Thank you for joining us. Our speaker today will be Miss Keisha Stubbs-Bone. Miss Keisha, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, my name is Keisha Stubbs-Bone, like Teagan said. I am the new Chief Financial Officer here at Allegheny West Conference in Columbus, Ohio. And I am originally from the Bahamas. I am a young person just like Teagan and a graduate of Oakwood University as well.
Today we'll be talking about financial health. Miss Keisha, what is financial literacy?
Financial literacy is essentially educating yourself about finances. It's about learning how to manage your money, how to secure your future, and how to spend wisely.
That seems like a very good skill to have in life.
Yes, everybody should have that skill in life. Everybody should be financially literate so that they could be financially healthy.
When should we begin learning about how to manage money?
I would say as early as possible. Actually, I read something that said that children should start learning about money as early as age 3, meaning you're just like a toddler, like a little baby. And that by age 7, most children have already developed their money habits. So, when you go to grandma's house or auntie's house and they say, here's $1 for you to take it home, some children will probably spend the whole thing, but it's important for parents to sit down with their kids and say, hey, actually you should probably save some of that money and, spend some of it and think about how you can keep some of it for the future. So I would say as early as 3 years old, children should be learning about money.
That seems like an appropriate age.
Yeah.
What are some practical ways I can begin to save money?
So I would suggest for young people, one is to have a conversation with your parents because they may already have a savings account for you, or open a savings account, or start a jar. Do children still have piggy banks? Do you know what a piggy bank is?
Yeah, I have like a money jar.
Yeah, you have like a money jar, a piggy bank. Back in the day, there used to be like little pigs actually, and had a little slot in the top. You can drop your coins in there. You could use a mayonnaise jar. You can use a mason jar. You can use a pitcher for Kool-Aid, whatever you want to do. Just drop your money in there, keep it in a safe place. But to me, that's the old school way of saving money. And then the other thing you can do is you can set a time to say, every month I want to save this certain amount of money. Whether you keep it or you give it to your parents, or you put it in a safe place, but having a goal every month would be important.
That sounds pretty practical. So like, if I got, say, $10, and something I wanted cost $4, I could either save the whole $10, or I could get the thing for $4, and I could put the rest in my piggy bank, my anything.
Yeah. And it also depends on what your goals are. If your goals are, hey, when I go on a trip this summer, I need to have $10, then you probably want to save that whole $10.
Yeah.
But if your goal, yeah, exactly. But if your goal is, hey, I'm willing to spend half of this $10 and save the other 10, then I think you're good with spending $4.
Why is tithe and offerings so important?
So tithe and offerings are actually a biblical principle. Tithing is giving back 10% of what really God has gifted you. And so really and truly, it's His anyways. He's just only asking for 10%. And then your offering is something fruitful that you give on top of that. Sometimes in church you'll get $1, they'll pass $1 down and be like, everybody put something in the bucket. But your offering really should come from your heart. It's what you feel inclined and convicted to give in addition to your tithing. But people who are faithful in tithes and offerings can tell you that there's great benefits to it. It may not even always be getting more money in return. It may be other blessings in other ways. So
like if you're praying about something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Because my dad, he was talking to me when I made my money for the first time in a while. He told me that I had to give tithing and offering. And the first going off, I was like, why do I have to do that? I don't have a lot of money. But it shouldn't be like a burden to you or anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because they say God loves a cheerful giver. And the matter of fact is anything that he's given us with is his. And he's only asking for 10%. Yeah. So I think that's pretty generous, if you ask me, you know. It's easier though, when you think of it not as a rule or something that you have to do, when you just think of it as being obedient to God.
Like how you're obedient to your parents, because God is your parent.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Come on, you preach. Yes, I like it. Yeah,
Can you
absolutely.
explain the pros and cons of having a credit card?
So having a credit card, for me, I always battle with this. Here's why. I want people to not use a credit card as their only option, right? Credit cards have their advantages. These days, credit cards have rewards, like you get 5% back, 10% back. You know, you can get,
you see on the ads on TV.
Yeah, you see all the ads on TV. You go to some places and sometimes they may not even accept a debit card. They may only accept a credit card. Most times, if you want to make major purchases, people do it on a credit card.
Instead of a debit card.
Yeah, you have immediate access to it. Instead of a debit card, the credit card, if it's stolen, you know, people can't like just withdraw your cash. With a debit card, they can. So there are some benefits to a credit card. However,
you want to keep your debit card safe, though.
Yes, you want to keep your debit card safe. And make sure you don't give your PIN out to anybody. But with your credit card, sometimes people can get carried away and they will spend all of the money. The credit card will give you a limit. They'll say, okay, this credit card, you have $1,000.
Can a credit card sometimes put you in debt?
Absolutely, it is debt. That $1,000 does not belong to you. It belongs to someone else, and you have to pay it back.
And it doesn't make any sense using a credit card sometimes, just like off the bat, because if you spend $100 on a credit card, you might as well just spend it on your debit card, because you're just going to be in debt.
This is the thing. This is the exact point. So the point I was going to make, which you just did, is that if you don't have the money on your debit card, then you probably shouldn't use a credit card. If you don't have the money that you can, one, either put it right back or pay for it, because if you don't have the cash, then you don't have it.
If you have enough to pay them back, you might as well just use
your debit card.
Because you just spend that money and you'll still have the money you need to pay them back, but you won't have to pay them back.
Absolutely. Now, there are some people who use their credit card to help build their credit score, because it shows that you are capable of paying back if you spend money on it. Like for instance, I have a credit card that I use for gas. I really don't only use it for gas. Like I'll go put $20 in my car. I'm just using it as an example. And then I'll put that money right back with my debit card. I'll pay it right back. But I really do it so I can get the rewards and the points and also wanting to like keep my credit score kind of going. I think it's like revolving credit. So for that purpose, sure. But I'm not a huge fan of people getting large credit cards and like maxing them out to capacity.
It's just like a big flex.
Yes.
A big flex that could put you in debt.
Big flex of money that you don't own.
Really
you know what a big flex is? A lot of money in the savings account.
Definitely.
That's a big flex.
What is credit score?
So a credit score is basically your, it's a number that shows how you're responsible with credit. So for instance, like I just said, sometimes people will get a credit card that has a limit, and if you pay that back, that affects your credit score, and it shows, oh, this is a responsible person.
You look better.
Yeah, if you don't pay it back, well, credit score is going down.
You don't look responsible at all.
You do not look responsible, which means when you go to other places, they are unlikely to offer you credit because you haven't been responsible with other credit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's kind of like like people keeping a report card on you or a progress report.
What is a budget, and how does budgeting work?
So a budget is essentially a document that lists all the money that you earn and all of your expenses, all the money that you have to pay out. It works by, you can create this budget whether you want to do it on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis, on a daily basis, however you want to do it. Just kind of listing out all of the money, all the income that you get in, and then all of the money that will be going out. It keeps you accountable. It keeps you on track with your finances.
Kind of like a to-do list, like a schedule.
Yeah, just like that. Kind of gives you a big picture of what your money will look like. Like you talked about the $10. You know that you had $10 of money, but your expenses were $4. So you kind of get to see what you have, what you'll be spending, and then what you'll have left.
Some people, they may get different jars to hold dollar bills, $5 bills, $20 bills, $100 bills.
Yeah.
People may do that.
People may do that. And they also have apps for your phone now that you can do budgeting on. Like there's one called Every Dollar, and you put your income in it. You could actually link your bank account so that when your income comes in, pops in your income, like you get paid. When you spend money, it'll track every single expense and like put it into categories. So there's so many ways that you can keep a budget, stay on track, be accountable with your finances.
Thank you so much for answering my questions and taking the time out of your day to talk to me. Could you show us how to put together a budget?
Absolutely. Yeah, I would be happy to. And thank you for your wonderful questions and for asking them so intelligently.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's see if we can quickly put this budget together. It's going to be a very simple budget, basic, and I'm doing this in Excel. So if you have Microsoft Excel, or you have numbers, or you just have a piece of paper and a pencil at home, you can do this. We're going to start by setting up our monthly income. Most people do their budgets on a monthly basis. It's horrible typing. It's okay. Let's make this adjustment. All right, so most people do this on a monthly basis. You probably have your job, salary, or wages, or you may have an allowance. You may have received gifts from family or friends, or you may have a savings account. Those are kinds of some examples. I would put an other, just in case you get other, like you may get something from somewhere else. So that's your income. Then you want to put your monthly expenses. That could be, I don't know, what do young people buy? Clothing, toys, entertainment, if you're going out with friends, if you need to buy a gift, definitely your savings. If you are going to like a sporting event, so let's say sports or school, and then we can put some other. So others, you can replace those with, whatever may be going on that month, right? Those are just some basic items. And then we want to have what we expect to receive, what we actually receive, and then the difference. Okay? So for example, let's add a row here. Let's just say this is the month of, what month are we in? October. November, let's say November. So So we're budgeting for November. So let's just say you have a job at, I don't know, Walmart, and you may be making $250. Okay, so you expect $250 after tax. Let's say your parents may give you an allowance of $25. Okay, and then you got a gift card, or some money from grandmother, $25. So now your total income is, can anyone guess? Looks like about $300. Okay, this is what you're expecting to receive in November. Let's just say you didn't work all those hours, so you only got 200. And then you got your allowance, and then you didn't get anything from grandma. So now actually, Command C. This is only $225 is what you've received. Okay? So let's go down to our expenses. Clothing. Let's just say you buy a shirt, $10. You buy I'm calling a toy, a charger for your phone, or a new pair of headphones, or some kind of gadget, and that cost $25. And then you decide you're gonna go to the movies with your friends. That's $10. It's probably more than that. Gifts. We're not buying any gifts this month, but you need to save. So let's say you're saving out of all of this, you're gonna save $50 out of your income. And then you go to a basketball game, and that's $5. Okay. So now we need to, I really could have done auto sum. Add all of that up. So now your expenses are $100. This is what you're expecting to spend in November, because maybe this is what you spent in October, and you're saying it probably will be the same in November. Okay, so let's just say you spend $40 on clothing, actually, and then you don't buy any toys, and you spend $20 at the movies instead of, you thought you were only spend $10. And then you save $75. And you don't spend anything at a sporting event. Okay, so now you have spent $135. And you can show your difference. The major thing is your expenses should not be more than your income. And really, here you can see that your income was $300, your expenses were $100. So that's good. That's really good. This is a simple budget. This is as simple as it gets. I ain't gonna mess with that. But here we go. We can just make this money. Our most important expense here that we need to add at the top is our tithe. Oops, we don't want it in all caps. Tithe and offering. So, since your income, you're expecting it to be $250, then we'll expect that your tithe is 10% of that. 10% of $250 is $25. Plus, if you're giving an offering, let's say you're giving an offering of $10. So your tithe and your offering would be $35 is what you expect that you'll give. However, you actually only made $200, as you see it here. So your tithe would only be 10% of that. So let's say your tithe is $20 plus you give a $10 offering is $30. So now we need to adjust this. 70 plus 20 is 90, plus 75 is 165, is how much you have spent, and your difference is $60. So this is a basic budget. It is simple. Anyone can do it. If you need help, you can always go to Google and find one, but this is a basic budget.